All right, guys, welcome back to another video. Today is going to be a little bit more of a talking video, kind of chat with you guys. So if you're at work and you want to procrastinate, you're taking a shower, you're doing the dishes, you're taking a poop, and you just want something to listen to in the background, this might be the video for you. But I do have a few things to show you guys. First things first, I did go yard selling over the weekend. I didn't find anything too crazy. I'll throw some clips up at the end of what I found. It was like a box of Wii and PlayStation 2 games, and I think a Super Nintendo and some games, nothing too crazy. But I did pick something up from my local video game store today that I want to show you guys, and it's super huge for me. It is the game Buck Bumble for Nintendo 64. Hopefully it goes in a frame there. This has been a game that I have been looking for a long time. For those of you that are sort of new to my channel and this whole collecting thing, we had a flood in my parents' basement a few years ago, and it destroyed my childhood collection of games. And within the recent years, I've sort of gotten that fire to recollect it all. So I'm sort of on that journey just to recollect every single game I had as a kid. And a few things, maybe some things that I've wanted that I never got, or certain variants or things like that. But the collection is basically just staying towards the stuff that I had as a kid. And Nintendo 64 was like super, super huge for me. It's probably one of my favorite consoles. And other than the Mario Kart 64, Super Smash Bros. GoldenEye, two of the most obscure N64 games that me and my twin were absolutely in love with was Buck Bumble and Mischief Makers. Super cool games. And if you don't know this, if you've never played this game or know nothing about it, you're a bumblebee that kills insects with a blaster gun. It's insanely awesome. So I picked it up from my local video game store, and it's kind of neat because I've been looking for it forever. It's been like on the top of my list. And I went in there today, and under a pile of new stuff that had came in, it was just sitting there. Box was a little crushed, but you unfold it, put in the box protectors, and it looks good. Especially if you're into displaying it and stuff. The only other thing that I got today, and it's not even video game related, I just really liked it, was this old flashlight from maybe the 60s, Everready company. Super neat. It was just super retro. I like it. It does work. I polished it up. It almost looks like a Star Wars lightsaber, doesn't it? Yeah, but $1. I mean, I thought it was cool. So what that'll actually bring me to my next topic. After going yard sailing this weekend, I had an encounter. It wasn't this yard sale season, but last season that really turned me off from yard sailing. And I don't say this to discourage anyone else. But it's a story that I think is worth getting out there. So I was just typical yard sailing, and I asked this lady. She didn't have any video games, and I asked her. I said, "Hey, would you happen to have any older video games for sale?" And she goes, "Matter of fact, I do. My son, is a little bit younger than you, and I know he's got him here." So she was the only attendant at the sale. So she goes inside, and there's obviously no one watching her yard sale. So I understand why, she's sort of like trying to be in a rush. She doesn't want to just like leave, it unattended. So she's like gathering all this stuff up, and like bins of games that were like DS, Wii, GameCube. I mean, a little bit of everything. You guys get the gist of what sort of is produced from these yard sales when you get a big ask. And so she starts kind of piling it up in like the doorway, and I offered to her like, "Hey, I know no one's watching your sale. Do you want to kind of bring these out here?" And she goes, "Yeah, that's fine." And so we take them out to the front, and it's a ton of stuff. Probably 30 Nintendo DS games. There was PlayStation 2 stuff, tons of PlayStation 2 games. I think a few 3DSs, like three 3DSs. Just a lot of stuff. And as I'm looking through it, and I'm sort of like off to the side in her sale. She's attending to other people. I'm off to the side on the sale, and another gentleman comes up and says to her, "Hey, do you have any video games?" She goes, "Yeah, he's looking through them right now." And instead of sort of keeping his space, or like even coming up to me and saying, "Hey, what's going on? I collect too," or whatever his story is, he notices I'm looking at the 3DS, and he goes, "I'll give you $65 for that." And it kind of caught me off guard because, she even told him, "Hey, let him look through what he's looking through, whatever he doesn't want, you can look through." And he starts like grabbing stuff from me and going through the pile that I'm looking through, and just making these crazy offers. And then once, he starts inspecting things more, "Oh, I can't give you 65 for this. I'll give you, 40." It was a super weird situation. And I'm not an aggressive person. I would say that I'm sort of like a gentle giant. If anything, I'm pretty big, tall guy. And it was really off-putting to have someone do that. And I even told him, I said, "Hey, look, I'm not going to take all this stuff. I'm willing to share it with you, but just pump the brakes. Like, let's look through this together." And he just grabbing stuff. I mean, it was wild to me, to have to deal with that. And it's like, it's that frenzy we're in, it's that you get that high, like, because that's sort of, and I don't want to say the problem, but the weird thing about this is, that you're going to go to a yard sale or garage sale, and you're going to find something that's expensive for cheap. Otherwise, why would you do it? I mean, there's a reason why you don't go to a yard sale and pick up the Nintendo 64 for $100, even though that's what they're going for. You want to get it for $5 because that's what that person who's selling the Nintendo 64, thinks it's worth. And you don't really find many other things like that. I mean, no one's going to, sell a bunch of gold watches to you for $5, because a lot of people have this universal common sense that gold is worth money, jewelry is worth money. These old video games are this really strange niche, where a lot of people that are getting rid of them don't know their worth. And it was really unfortunate to have that occurrence with him, because it just set, even a year after that happened, it's not sat well with me, because I just realized a majority of resellers are like that. And a lot of people, and I may, some of you may disagree with me or not like me for saying this, but a lot of people are in this scene are like that. They're very greedy. Nobody wants to share, and nobody, just they want to be fair. I even have a hard time sometimes going to these sales and picking things up cheap that I know is worth a lot. That's why I always try and be as fair as I can. I mean, if there's a complete in box Super Mario, and somebody wants $1 for it, I'm gonna give them more. I don't need to pay full price. That's not why I'm at the sale, but I also need to rip people off. I have a hard time doing that. I just feel like it's taking advantage of people, and I don't like that. That's sort of what this scene has become. Oh, I got this big collection for $1. It's worth 1,000. Like, if you look at all these retro video game channels, and I'm not trying to point fingers because I'm subscribed to a lot of them, it's become this obsession with getting the most expensive things for cheap. And to me, it's not about that. I truly love collecting these video games, and I love, just reconnecting with my childhood and the memories that it brings me. And I don't need to rip people off to do that. And I certainly don't need to be rude to other people, especially strangers at yard sales who are into the same thing I am. I mean, we got to be courteous to one another. And if anyone's watching this video and that you might be like this guy, I encourage you to just sort of, how can I say this nicely? Dude, this is 30-year-old cardboard and plastic. I mean, I don't know how else I can say it. As cool as it is and as amazing as it is, it's not that serious. Like, I'm telling you guys, mark my words. I don't care what you think. There's the people growing up, like the 5-year-olds that are gonna, You know, when we're in nursing homes and they're our age, they're not going to lose their mind over this stuff like we are. We are, because it's our childhood. We live through this stuff. We have memories with this stuff. We're nostalgic with this stuff. I mean, are you losing your mind over a Red Ryder BB gun that someone picked up at a yard sale? No, because you didn't grow up with that. It doesn't mean anything to you. Shirley Temple, are you going nuts over Shirley Temple memorabilia? No, because it meant nothing to you. So try and keep aware of that fact that this stuff is cool. It's cool right now, and we may not be collectors for the moment, but collectors for life. And I think that's what, I'll be. I think I'll always be into this stuff. But you have to be aware that the value may not always be there. So have fun with it. If you're a recollector or a reseller, that's cool. But don't be doing that to people, man, because that kid really pissed me off. I don't get mad like very often. That kid really, really pissed me off. So that's sort of the topic I wanted to talk to you guys about. Just, the being courteous at these sales. Everybody, I don't remember who it was. It was some video I watched on here, and the person hosting the yard sale had all these video games, and you saw like 7, 8 grown men like pushing each other out of the way to get these games. It blows my mind. I've said this before. We're geeks. We're nerds. We're not dorks. I mean, come on, guys. Like, there's enough to go around. There's enough of this stuff to go around. Just be better to one another. We got to do better than this, especially if this scene's getting bigger. We got to do better. It's not that serious, guys. So hopefully I didn't piss off too many people with my opinion on that. That situation just really got under my skin. And you can't go to a yard sale now and ask for video games without someone saying, "Oh, you're the 6th, 7th person who's asked." It's a big thing now. Cat's out of the bag. This is some big stuff now. So if it's here to stick around, let's be nicer to one another, more courteous to one another. Don't be like that goofball there. And that's it. I mean, I'll throw some clips up now of some of the stuff I found, but that's it. Till next time, see you guys later. All right, so here's some of the weekend yard sale pickups. A lot of common PS2 games, nothing too exciting. Same thing with the Wii. I went ahead and organized it so you guys can see it a little bit better. I mean, you guys are familiar with all these titles. I'm definitely keeping these. I love anything Mario, Zelda, anything like that. What was neat about this lot was there's actually a decent amount of sealed stuff. A couple of the Wii games are sealed. There's a couple PlayStation games that are sealed, like family card games. And this is for good reason. Like, who actually wanted to open this and play it? Nobody. Harvest Moon sealed. Sonic the Hedgehog for 360 sealed, and a few other stuff. Here was the Super Nintendo that I picked up. It's in pretty bad shape, actually. Got Earthworm Jim, Super Mario World, and I think this is Toy Story. Yeah, I actually have plans to reshell this with a clear aftermarket shell you can get on eBay. I think that'll be pretty cool to do with that. The last thing that's pretty interesting about this lot is this family not only had 1, not 2, but where is it? Yep. 3 copies of PlayStation 2's greatest hits, Ace Combat Shattered Skies. And this one's sealed with the Toys R Us receipt still attached. I don't know what to say about this, guys. I mean, this is probably one of the most fun games you can play, and just none of us knew about it. So if you don't see me return to YouTube for a while, it's because I'm knees deep in Ace Combat Shattered Skies. I'm out.